Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We've got the September house price data, and it's a lot more positive than a lot of people were expecting. This data is from the Nationwide Building Society, and I think it's important that we look at all these data sets. Every single month on this channel, we share the different data sets. We share the nationwide data. Remember, this is their lending book, so this is the deals that they've done. We look at the Halifax data in about a week. We look at the ONS, the Office of National Statistics, and we look at the Rightmove asking price data, because all of that collated together gives you and I our own understanding on what's happening in the market. Now, this is more positive than a lot of people were expecting, because since the stamp duty increase at the end of March, the market has been slow. So we don't get transaction volume in this. We need the ONS data to get that, the Office of National Statistics, because that's got the cash deals and all the transactions together. But what we do see here is quite a big jump in house prices, which is quite surprising. So this is from Nationwide Building Society, as I said. And so this is the September data. Now, what are they saying happened in September? Well, they are saying that house prices actually jumped 0.5% up in just a month. That's a big jump. And it's especially a big jump in an uncertain market. Everyone's reporting that buyer inquiries are slowing down. People are just waiting. They want to see what's going to happen in the budget in November. For them, that's the big decision maker. Are we going to have a stamp duty change? Not many people want to buy right now because of that, because there's different versions of stamp duty being thrown around. People want to just see what actually is happening. And if you look at the comments on my channel, I've seen at least 100 people in the last week that have said, I've got a deal that's going through at the moment. I don't know whether to wait or drag it out till November. And I would say, if you do have a deal going through at the moment, just slow walk it. Just slow walk it. Take your time getting responses back and stuff like that. So what's this on an annual basis? Well, on an annual basis, house prices are up 2.2%. And that's moved back up. So it was 2.1% on an annual basis. So it has started to positively impact that again. So look, it's going to be really tough to see any decline this year. Now, of course, there are different levels. There are going to be the top end of the market that is slow, that does have reductions. But if the sale's not done, it's not a sold house price at that point. So Nationwide is saying, from their feedback, people are just reluctant to buy at the moment. They just want to see what happens in the budget. That's the biggest problem at the moment. And the government's got to address that. I don't think it's smart to necessarily wait until the budget. They should be doing more leaks as they get closer to the budget, so we have a real understanding on what they're thinking. And that is probably what we're likely to see. So they floated already property taxes, which would mean that you don't pay stamp duty, you don't pay council tax on properties above 500 grand, but you do pay an annual tax on that, like you see in America. We've had it talked about installments for stamp duty, giving you 4 or 5 years to pay your stamp duty. That could get the market moving as well. So all of that reluctancy is because we don't have any clarity. So that's what we're waiting on. Buyers are down at the moment. So there are 4% less buyers in the market than in August. And August is a slow month because people are on holidays. So there's 4% less people making inquiries. That means you're going to get less houses sold for the rest of the year. But what about on a regional basis? How's that looking? They've got some data on that. So Northern Ireland is looking really strong. We've said this all year, 9.6% annual growth in Northern Ireland. Crazy strength there. And that is amazing, and that's continuing at the moment. Wales is still very strong as well. So in Wales, we've got 3% growth in Wales. And so that's a fairly strong area as well. Scotland. How are we doing in Scotland? 2.9% up. So that's not too bad as well. There is a lack of housing in Scotland, especially in the big cities. And so that makes sense that you're seeing the prices going up in those areas. The north of England is really strong at the moment. And so in the north of the UK, or of England, sorry, the increase over here is 5.1%. 5.1%. Last year, we had places like Liverpool doing very well. There's other places like Sheffield and Hull and places like that are really, really strong at the moment. And that does make sense because in those areas, house prices are still affordable. Only a few years ago, when I started this channel, I bought a 2-bedroom house in Doncaster for £60,000. You can still do that today, £65,000-70,000. You can get properties for that kind of price. So people can afford that on a fairly normal job. You don't have to be a high-earning doctor or something like that, or a pilot, to be able to afford a property there like you might in London. So the north, I don't think, needs to be impacted by house prices too much. They are affordable. The south is the worst performing place. They bundled here, all of Nationwide bundled the whole south in. So this includes the southeast, the southwest, and London. So just to be clear, I don't know why they haven't split it out. Normally they do, this time they haven't. 0.7%. So it's positive, but in real terms in the south, house prices are down. Because if you take into effect that inflation's been more than 3% this year, you've actually lost money in the south. We call that a silent property, maybe not a crash, but a silent property decline in prices at least. And that's the better way. I think if you're going to have house prices become more affordable, let inflation erode them away. That's a better way than actually having a drop in house prices that put people in negative equity and make them get stuck in their properties for a long, long period of time. So look, I think this is surprising data. I think the fact that we've got 0.5 percentage point growth in a month after a summer period as well, and we still really, people are only really starting to think about buying again after that stamp duty increase. This is quite surprising, and I think a lot of people are surprised by this data. What do you think about this? Do you think this will continue, or is this just a blip and a one-off month? Let me know in the comments below. Do smash like, do grab our ebook, Mortgage Secrets, How to Get the Best Mortgage Deal in 2025. We'll teach you how to get the best broker. When's the right time to start your mortgage deal? That's important as well. We'll talk about all of that, and we'll talk about some off-market lenders. You need to be checking their prices because they can be cheaper, significantly cheaper than other places that you see on comparison sites and with your broker. So do grab that. It's in the description. It's in the pinned comment. Do also check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.